Hey, Kern County, welcome back. It's halftime. Centennial High School 14, Stockdale nothing. Week 6, Game 6, in a very big game. This is Vance Palm alongside my partner in time, Brian Adams. Brian, your first half thoughts?
2 mistakes, two touchdowns for the Centennial Golden Hawks, and they're up 14-0. That's about it. Otherwise, it's been an even match.
Of all the storylines we have tonight, one of the quirkiest ones is our quarterback storyline, where we expect Sam Betty to be the long ball thrower and Jeff Crosby to be the runner. But right off the bat, Crosby's throwing the bombs, and we see Sam Betty scrambling for some good yardage. So kind of a twist reversal there.
Oh, yeah, we talked about, like you said, one running the ball and Crosby and one throwing the ball and Betty. And so far, Crosby's throwing the ball and Betty's running the ball, and they're both doing a good job for the team. But the Mustangs have to figure out a way to put the ball in the end zone.
Hey, Kern County, I think you can hear in the overhead speakers, it's time, that special time for the high school band, and it being the home school of Stockdale High. Let's listen in and watch all the hard work and effort from the Stockdale High School band.
Laps of action squeezed into 2 days. It's the biggest event of the year at Mesa Marin Raceway, the 25th Anniversary October Classic, October 19th and 20th. The 2-day, $90,000 event will feature the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series, NASCAR Super Late Model, Ultra Wheel Super Trucks, Late Models, the Pro 4 Challenge, and the Cal Spa Super TT motorcycle. Over 200 drivers from around the nation, including NASCAR star Ron Hornaday Jr. Order your tickets now for the 25th Anniversary October Classic at Mesa Marin Raceway, the World Series of short track racing.
KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader. The station you can trust first for breaking news and the most complete local coverage. We are KERN News Talk 1410, bringing you the pulse of the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make an appointment with KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader.
The law offices of Young Woolridge. Current Radio 1410, Real Rock 104, and Jesus Shack present the High School Football Game of the Week, exclusively on Time Warner Cable.
Instructors are Mark Rodriguez and Amanda Thomas.
Kern County, we're back just before the third quarter starts between Centennial visiting the Stockdale squad. It's 14-0. There's your score, and there's our great sponsors that help bring this game to us. Hey, Brian, it's 14-0. That means there's 2 touchdowns. Here's our first one, first play of the scrimmage for Centennial.
This was a bomb right here. They got a big turnover, jumped on them immediately, threw a streak to the Menace right there, and that was just easy pitch and catch right there.
And then the second score we're going to see in a few seconds, that was at the end of the first half. We had very little time. Centennial marching down. They've got a juggle between making decisions to kick a field goal, not kick a field goal. Then they have to get a first down with maybe 40 seconds left. They get the first down. Then they throw to the side. We think it's a touchdown, but the ball doesn't cross over the goal line. And that brings up this last play of the first half.
And right there, that's just that play we saw do against BHS. When they get close, it's just everybody lines up, and the center and the quarterback are going, and Crosby was able to get in for the touchdown there.
So that's your score. Those are your scores. 14-0 is the score. And a big game. We've talked about the implications. It's an October game with November implications. Both of these teams 4-1 for the season, 0-0 going into this first league game for them. And you know, we've documented it already, the SWIL dominance of Centennial, 6-0 versus Stockdale. It's big-time stuff right here for Stockdale. They got to suck it up.
Yeah, it is, but, you know, they have the ability to draw back on a recent experience this year when they were down 21-0 and say, you know what, hey, we've been there before. What we have to do is we have to get production on our offense and put on points on the board. And then defensively, they got to get a turnover or some kind of play to change the momentum.
That's a good point, Brian. They in the locker room, it's very possible. Very possible that, you know, Dave Boyd, the coach of Stockdale, said, hey, fellas, we knocked off BHS first game of the year down. Why not Centennial? You know, is Centennial the future of Kern County football, or can we have something to say about that and jump in there and into the mix? Because we've not talked a lot tonight about West High and North High, but in that same division with Centennial and Stockdale is West High, who's now 6-0, and then you've got North High at 4-1, and geez, or 3-2. They're as tough as nails also.
Yeah, you know, and with North High, you know, you're talking about a team that's disciplined, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, plays physical football, and right now West High, I mean, let's just put it out there. I mean, they're lining up the scoreboard. They're just a highlight show. You know, we've had them on Time Warner. They haven't put up those huge points in the games we've seen, but, you know, you read the paper the next week, and they're doing 77, 55, 51. And so, you know, for West to compete, I think they're going to have to continue to put up the points and try to make it a high-scoring affair. But I don't know if they can win a defensive battle with these ball clubs.
Eubanks has 6, as West ranks 6 and North ranks 7. But tonight it's our number 2 and number 4 teams. Number 2 on the field, Chris Houston bobbles the ball, and all of a sudden he's off and running again. Every time he bobbles the ball, he gets about 30 yards.
Well, I'll tell you, too, and it's just a strange phenomenon when a return man bobbles the ball. Everybody kind of relaxes when they come down, slow up in their lanes, and then the runner picks the ball up and busts right through the big holes.
Hard to figure out why anyone running full bore would ever hold up until the whistle blows, especially on a kickoff team.
But they do. You know, they just kind of settle down, and right there, I mean, this is not a Stockdale player within 10 yards.
Nice blocking.
And the wedge was set up. That's just a good return.
1st and 10. Jeff Crosby, quarterback for the Centennial Golden Hawks. Ball on the 32-yard line of their side of the ball. And a high snap. He handles it with one hand, kind of a broken play. Maybe not. Here comes Crosby. Ooh, nice big hit.
Jeff Crosby brought down by number 22, Travis Argura.
Well, Jeff Crosby does a good job of saving the ball from being snapped over his head and potentially being in some huge trouble, and then is able to get away.
That's Travis
Argura. You'll see right
Argura.
here, good one-hand stab right there. He's going to cut in and pick up the good 8 yards. And
wow.
Right there.
2nd and 2.
Can't elude his own man.
And I know Kern County, you hear me say a lot, just like that, just like that, just like that, but that seems to be their offense out of nowhere, just like that, 8 yards. Crosby, hard snap, doesn't get anybody to jump. He looks over, he's got Chris Houston faking on it.
There's a holding, that's coming back.
Oh, wow, good play. But, again, laundry on the field, and this isn't the first time they've had a nice long run by their quarterback called back.
Well, again, that's just an easy call out there. You get a situation when you're a lineman and, you want to make that block and the defensive player gets a little angle on you and has a chance to make the play, and you just hold them and
Centennial.
going back 10 yards. Right here, this is designed the whole time. You can see Jeff's going to run the ball out to his left, and there's the holding right there.
Doggone it. Well, my spotter up here on the bench for me, young Cooper Dameron, had that picked out. He said that was number 76 on the hold. But nevertheless, Centennial not fretting, not worried, I don't think. They've got that talented offense in gear tonight. They have 14 points. They're up by 2 TDs. They've got the ball. It's the beginning of the third quarter. Doesn't seem to phase this offensive powerhouse here. Here we go. Crosby, another hard count, trying to get people to jump off sides. Doesn't happen. Crosby looks back. Has Chris Houston out on the side. Just neglects to go to Houston. Throws wide right to Nick Salitz, and I don't think Salitz ever had a chance.
No, and that's a tough throw. Throw from that half to that far out is a tough throw and a dangerous throw. Right here, he has time, but there's nobody open. Good coverage this time. Try to throw the out to Salitz, but right here, it's just out of his range and good coverage. Because if it's throwing anything short, Hansen, as good athlete as he is, I can guarantee he'll pick it and go to the house with it.
And to be honest with you, it might have been a pickup of 1 yard. So 3rd and 18. Centennial coming into the field of Stockdale and putting up 2 TDs in the first half. Here comes Crosby, flushed out of the pocket again. He might get caught from behind. He gets caught from the side and gets forced out of bounds. Still not brought down, but worked out of bounds by, of all people, Brett Shelton, who ran all the way across the field to get him. So that's 4th down for Centennial. So Stockdale has to be happy that they kept Centennial from doing any damage in its
They
first
got the
series.
8 of a holding call, then they just played good, solid defense for 3 plays. And right now, they're going to get a chance to get great field position and hopefully fill the punt with one of their other exciting runners in Anthony Garrett. Garrett Anthony, I'm sorry.
Anthony back on his own 40-yard line. A high punt, and it doesn't go anywhere either. So Jason Lavorne doesn't get much out of his punt, and they have to just knock it down on their own 45-yard line, so maybe a 20-yard punt.
So great field position right now, and they have to come out and take advantage of this. That's what they did against BHS. They came right out of the half, and they were aggressive. They attacked. They're going to have to do it again because they got to score 14 points to tie the game against a Centennial Golden Hawk team that really, once they get the ball on offense, can run the clock, can take a lot of time off the clock from them.
Great point remembering that in that BHS game. Right out the chute in the second half, they started things up. So here we go. Garrett Anthony in motion. The ball goes to Anthony. Anthony goes wide right. Picks up about 5 yards and looked as if that Stockdale receiver kind of stopped blocking out there, kind of gave it up. Anthony could have had more. He's a speedy guy.
Yeah, that's the situation when you're a receiver and you want to block. You don't want to force your running back to pick a lane. You want to give him a 2-way go. You just kind of stay in front and shuffle like you would do in defense and basketball. You just want to stay in front of them, sliding your feet, shuffling and hitting them.
So what you're saying is as Anthony comes around the corner, he wants a few options.
Yeah, you don't tell a good ball carrier where to go. You let him pick where he wants to go. Let him set your block up.
Got it. 2nd and 5. Sam Betty. Again, hands the ball off to Garrett Anthony. Same play. Now Anthony's got some room. Anthony gets loose. He gets free. He might go all the way. Only one player can stop him, and he does. Eric Minnis pulls him down at the 2-yard line. So they basically just came left with it, and this time that receiver didn't stop blocking, did he?
He didn't stop blocking, and right there, Anthony does a good job using speed. You can see right here, he's probably one of the fastest kids on the field. The Juku right here is going to come around. This is like a sweep for you. He's going to come out, good block. You see no defenders even close to him yet. And right now, he just uses speed and takes off from him, goes on the sideline. And we're talking about a touchdown saving tackle coming up at the end right there, knocking him out.
Eric Minnis.
By Eric Minnis, who scored the touchdown earlier.
So Mark Perez.
A quarterback sneak right here.
Sorry about that.
Quarterback, just blow it in there.
So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Betty works it in. It's a quarterback sneak. It's a touchdown. So in no time at all, it's 14-7. Stockdale only trailing by 7. And here we see a head coach, Dave Boyd, walking the sidelines, working his players, getting his guys pumped up.
We've seen this before, and they have a lot of belief in themselves. And, this is what we saw last time. Ojukwu getting pumped up, and when they do that, they start getting their momentum going,
The
Mustangs can run wild on you. So right now the Golden Hawks got to come up with something and settle back down this next offensive series and see if they can get that touchdown back or put some points on the board.
We'll see that sideline stalk by that coaching staff of Stockdale. Fellas, this is what you want. We want you up. Extra point attempt from Perez. Perez smacks it through.
The extra point is good with 9:33 left.
So we're looking at a tight ball game here. All of a sudden, Stockdale comes out just like we mentioned, right out of the chute. Takes a break from a penalty and puts the ball in the end zone in just a couple of plays. So head coach Dave Boat very, very happy with that.
Well, you know, we hear the Mustangs coming on the speaker here, but I tell you, you got to like the fight in the Mustang players. I mean, they don't quit. We saw it in the week 1. We're seeing it now in week 6. You see the quarterback sneaking. When you got a big quarterback that he's just going to just manhandle guys out of the way. The line's pushing off. That's an easy touchdown. Good call. But, you know, we watch them. Their demeanor, they get down by 14-7. They don't change their demeanor. They don't come on the sideline getting down, worried. They come up, they come to the bench, they figure out what's going on, and they do a good job of game planning on the run in the halftime.
You saw that quick shot of head coach Dave Boyd. He looks like a buoyant Boyd. Cheerful, clapping his hands, giving a good vibe out. Hey, Kern County, what a ball game. Week 6, game 6. We're in the heart of the third quarter. Centennial leads by 1 touchdown. Deep for Centennial on the return will be Chris Houston, number 2, and number 30, Robin Johnson, to kick deep for the Mustangs. Very active tonight. Mark Perez. Mark Perez scoots up. Could be a little tricky onside. The referee's blowing the whistle right away as if it was a non-existent onside kick, and I'm not sure why they blew it so quick. Are you, Brian Adams?
Somebody was probably offsides there.
That's exactly what it is. Offsides or illegal motion on the kickoff. Well, there goes that secret.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if I am going to kick the ball off, I can tell you who I won't kick the ball off to. And that won't be Houston. He won't be getting – if he gets by the ball because I kicked it accidentally that way.
Brian Adams referring to the talented offensive dynamo of Chris Houston back there. Here's our onside kick, and way at the top of the screen.
Yeah, easy call.
Hey, Time Warner Cable, thanks, fellas. What a great shot, and you're helping us out, letting us know. And, of course, my expert spotter up here, Cooper Dameron, finding out who was offsides. Thanks, Coop.
Yeah, Robert Johnson has to beat me on this kickoff. I wouldn't give Houston a chance.
Let's do it again. Uh-oh, you got to be kidding me. This ball goes to Houston, and he bobbles it again.
Ball.
Houston does not pick it up. This time it's picked up by number 30, number 30, Robin Johnson. So I guess the recipe for a successful run back is to bobble it or mishandle it some way. Stockdale will overcommit themselves, and then doggone it.
And right here, Houston's trying to stop the ball, catch it so he can get a chance to return it.
Great kick.
Dangerous play. Great kick, like you said, but Johnson's a good job. I'm going to tell you, I'm impressed with the Centennial blockers. I mean, watch this wall. They get the blockers out there. Crane's out there. I mean, they're cleaning people out of the way right there. That's a nice job.
So you got Crane and Chad Horton out there running blocks on a muffed kick return, and it still equals out to be about a 25-yard return. So things coming up for Roses here for Centennial. 1st and 10. This crowd's into it. Chris Houston gets the ball. Chris Houston breaks outside. Can Houston get free? Not yet, but he gets to the 50-yard line, and if you're Stockdale defense, you get tired of seeing that number 2 coming through these big, gigantic holes.
It's going to happen if you're not going to get penetration. If you can't get penetration with your tackles, your defensive tackles, they're going to just blow holes open, and he's going to be able to run like this all day long.
Well, he's brought down by Brett Shelton, but Chris Houston continues to rack up yards. 1st and 10, Centennial at the midway point, about the 48-yard line. The ball goes again to Chris Houston. Houston continues to carry, continues to take punishing hits, and gets the ball up to about the 45-yard line. And this time, the late hit is going to be called. And oh, goodness.
And they can't afford to do that.
Last thing you want to see. Let's get the call from the referee. Dead ball foul. Personal foul. A late hit.
I tell you, this is how you answer. You gotta like Coach Nixon what he's doing. He's saying, you know what? You scored, you're excited. How about let's play some smash mouth and see how you hang in there.
Here comes Houston, and at the
right
very
there,
end.
That's the cornerback right there coming in, and that's just way too late. I mean, that's not even close. That's not even. You got to be heads up out there. You can't hurt your team.
That kind of looked like a big-time wrestling move where he just kind of dropped the elbow on him.
Jeff Baker.
Up the middle, Jeff Baker goes, gets nothing. So the unnecessary roughness call was on Mike Caraway. Unfortunate. Let's see if they can regroup and keep Centennial from getting in the end zone again. It's 2nd and maybe 8, right around there for the Golden Hawks of Centennial. Time Warner, you're watching the game of the week. Golden Hawks coming about 6 miles down the road to Stockdale. Kevin Eubanks was our pregame guest, and of course, always insightful, and he picked Stockdale to win this tonight. Let's see how it turns out. Jeff Crosby, the quarterback for Centennial, had a great game. Hands the ball off to Houston. Houston breaks up the middle, gets very close to a first down, probably about a yard short. That'll bring up 3rd and short. They keep coming, don't they, Brian?
Yeah, and when you have a team like this, to stop a run like this, when you have a dominant offensive line and back and fullback, you got to go to 8-9-minute blocks. That means you got to bring your strong safety and your safety into the line of scrimmage and bring them and say, you know what, we're just not going to allow you to run the ball. And that's how you stop a running game like that, and you force them to pass and beat you on the outside. Because you can blitz and play some different packages out of that front.
Matt Reese, the anchor of that offensive line. Tyler Martin's the center. Some big fellas. And as I say it, penetration gets through. It's almost like they can hear me. Hey, Vance, we got it too, buddy.
But they went to an 8-man front that time, Vance. That time they stacked everybody up. You'll see right here. See, the 8-man front is an unblocked man, so you're going to get penetration somewhere. And right there's nowhere for running back to run. And that's what they did last time they got down there.
Brings up a big 4th down. So as I'm giving kudos to the Centennial high offensive line, the defensive front for Stockdale brings up a big play here halfway through the 3rd quarter, because Centennial is now looking at a long 3 yards, Brian.
And Vance, when you go 8-man front, you put a lot of pressure on your corners and your safeties to cover people.
Crosby drops back, rolls left, throws across the body. Oh, what a great pass, and in the hands of number 8, Jason Caproli, and that would have been a huge, huge play, and it seemed to me that it was catchable.
Yeah, no, it was catchable. I thought he could have ran for the first down too, but right there, he put the ball in the hands of his tight end, and they kicked it for a lot of plays in their career so far together. Good throw. Crosby did a good job throwing on the run.
Oh, across the body, and it was Nick Solis that dropped the pass. Impressive physical skills by the young Jeff Crosby, throwing across the body on the money, but to no avail. It's 1st and 10 going the other way. Sam Betty scrambles on his own. He rolls right. He's got room. He's taking the ball himself, gets the first down, and picks up about 12 yards. Here comes Stockdale.
I tell you, and Sam Betty's showing us that, he's physical too. I mean, he's coming out of here and he's hitting defensive backs. But right here, Sam Betty's showing me now that, he has the complete package. He's able to run. He can throw. I mean, he's just going to be a double threat to you now. As he rolls out here, bootleg. Once throw the ball, nobody's open. It's a good decision. Right here, he's going to cut it up and just get physical with the defensive back.
Of our player matchups so far tonight, 3 of the 4 players making their presence known. Jeff Crosby, the QB for Centennial. Betty for Stockdale. Chris Houston, the running back for Centennial. But where is Francis Ojukwu? Ball goes across the middle from Sam Betty, goes to Matt Nichols, a pickup about 4 yards. And as we say, Ojukwu is in the backfield blocking for Sam Betty. Haven't seen much of him tonight.
No, but those are some key blocks. When your back stays in and helps out and gives the quarterback time. We talk about these key matchups. We're also fortunate to see 2 good tight ends play in Nick Seelix and Nichols. So, I mean, both these tight ends, they have good hands. We've seen that, and run good routes, and they're big-time threats as well.
2nd and 4, Stockdale on their own 41-yard line. They're down 7 with 6 minutes left, and Sam Betty decides to call a timeout with 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Hey, Kern County, we've got a young Woolwich player of the game that we're going to announce later tonight. Those coaches, they'll want to know who it is, especially if it's one of their players, because we haven't had a young Woolwich player from a losing squad yet, and they need to come back from being down 7 points. So, Brian, tonight, good stuff so far all the way around. Really not that many flags. We've had some, and they've come at some poor times, but we haven't had a deluge of laundry tonight.
No, and we talked about it in the beginning of the year. As the games progress, we'll see less and less laundry on the ground. You see tonight, and the holdings that we have seen, let's get these guys, you don't want to see a holding, but You're talking about some tough defensive linemen that are putting a lot of pressure out there, and that's going to happen on any level. So, you know, we haven't, like you said, haven't seen a large number how we have in the past.
If you're just tuning in, you're just flicking over on your remote control, you're spending some quality time with Time Warner, and this is the Time Warner High School Football Game of the Week. This is Vance Palm alongside my partner in time, Brian Adams, and all of the great crew, Time Warner Productions. Here we go, 2nd and 4. Stockdale High School has the ball on their own 41-yard line. Sam Betty, the signal caller for the Mustangs. Impressive game so far. He sends Garrett Anthony in motion. Fakes to Anthony. Throws across the middle. Overthrows.
Pass interference.
And there's going to be
That's
pass
an easy
interference.
call.
Oh, boy.
That's an easy call.
Well, Jordan Unfried was all over the back of Mark Perez, and as Brian Adams says, easy call to make. And that's an easy first down.
And right here, I like this. They're using that play action off that little kind of sweet play they ran with Anthony. And right there, he's hit way before the ball's there. And just a little early, but he was right there, though, just a little too early. But
brings up a big first down. Stockdale all of a sudden in Golden Hawk territory. Less than 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Beautiful October evening here on the west side of town at Stockdale High. Betty. Hard count, and he gets Baker to jump over the line, and they might pick up another 5 yards with some laundry. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, laundry to us is a penalty flag to you.
And that play was what I talked about earlier. I told you about Baker getting on that snap, timing that snap. I thought he was offside a couple times. They didn't call it. You hard snap a player like that to settle him down, because he's just watching the ball and he's getting off. And that's what he does. He does a great job of it. I've seen him for a few years now, and every game I've seen him do it, he does it at least once or twice a game. So you hard count him to slow him down a little bit.
Garrett Anthony in motion, the speedster. Betty hands the ball off to Ojukwu. Ojukwu has been silent so far, gets about 4 yards, and if they could get his engine going, that'd really help their offense.
Yeah, you know, and Ojukwu doesn't look good walking back to the huddle. Like he's kind of limping a little bit there.
Oh, boy.
And he's been doing that all night long, so I don't know if he came into the game a little nicked up. But, you know, you definitely want him at full strength.
In Kern County, when a player like Ojukwu starts limping, you've got more than just the football coaches at Stockdale High concerned. You've got the track coach as well, as we mentioned in our first game.
Well, he's got a long time to be healed up for track.
Hey, sounds easy for you. You're not his track coach. 5:39 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 1 for the team in black, the Mustangs. Garrett Anthony in motion. Anthony gets the ball. Anthony goes right. He's got good blocking, but very good pursuit from the Golden Hawks. But nevertheless, first down, Stockdale.
Anthony brought down by number 20.
You know, and that play is reaping big dividends for him, Vince. I mean, first downs, big plays, setting him up for a goal line touchdown. And, you know, Garrett, I mean, he's a tough kid, too. I mean, I'm liking a lot of these kids, you know, some of the smaller backs, but they've been very physical the way they run the ball. They're attacking the defense. And that's what you do when you're an offense. You don't have to always be the one being hit. Sometimes you can be the hitter. Great
point. Assistant coach Brad Showers, offensive coordinator for Stockdale, down at field level, calling plays in to his talented quarterback, Sam Betty. Betty sends Anthony in motion again. No handoff to Anthony. Betty rolls left. Will he throw across the body? Will he run? He's got the talent, the skills. He tries to go back right again.
Oh, good move.
Makes a quick move to pick up an extra 4 yards. Golden Hawks keep him from getting the first down, but Sam Betty using that natural skill and that tall height of his to make things happen, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing that he's just an athlete, too. I mean, right here, he's being patient. Last year, he'd have tried to fire the ball into somebody. He sees it's not open. He steadies himself, and now he's just looking around to see what he wants to do. Says, okay, I'm going to take it off and run it. I want to get some positive yards. Sets up Crane to go outside, cuts back.
Wow.
And picks up 5 or 6 yards right there.
Good stuff, Sam Betty. 2nd and 3. Centennial's 26-yard line. Betty rolls left again. Almost looked like the exact same play. Wow, he's got more yardage. This time, he keeps it again, and he gets another first down. So he keeps piling up first downs like they're nothing. But believe me, they're more than nothing. He's working, and they're after him.
We thought Ojukwu was going to be the guy running for 100 yards, but it's like Betty's trying to pile up the 100-yard stats. Right here, it's the same play, like you said, Vance. It's not open again, and right here, just lose contain. And once you lose contain at defensive end position, you allow that quarterback to have a lot of time to do this. And right now, he's picked up a couple big runs for first down.
One of our questions we had tonight, will Sam Betty be the difference tonight? 1st and 10. Tall, strong, poised quarterback. He's a senior. Pitches the ball off to Ojukwu. Ojukwu trying to get outside. Ojukwu, wow, almost gets loose, but a nice play out there by Jordan Unfried, who saved what could have been a breakaway.
Yeah. You know, and again, I'm watching around. I have to think that Ojukwu is a little dinged up because I'm not seeing the speed and explosiveness from him that we saw in the first game of the year. But right there, he still has good balance, but you don't see that burst of speed that we saw earlier, that real track-like taking off on you.
Hats off to Unfried for bringing him down. 2nd and 8. What a ball game. 3.5 left in the third quarter. Fake to Anthony. Ojukwu gets the ball up the middle. Ojukwu carries the ball for about 5 to 6 tough yards, but it looked good.
Yeah, he's close to a first down there, Vance. I mean, he felt like he was kind of like Chris Houston. You know, sometimes they don't have anything really there, and they just kind of shift their bodies around and get it. Right here, he's just hiding behind the big fellas there, runs through some tackles and fights for those close to a first down.
And with all great running backs, after enough carries, you start to get the feel, you start to get your footwork, you start to get, I'll use the term grip on things, if you know what I mean. 3rd and 2. Big play for Stockdale. Last time they were this close, they fumbled the ball on their own goal line. Garrett Anthony trying to get outside. Good containment by Centennial. He picks up 2 or 3 yards, but didn't get in.
No, but what I like about it is he picked up the first down. You know, he didn't try to stop and make something great happen and break the 12-yard touchdown. He understood where the first down marker was. He made sure that he got it, and he keeps the drive going.
1 word, 3 syllables, momentum.
And we know Mr. Mo, you being an ex-athlete myself, is just very fickle.
Mr. Mo can switch his loyalties very quickly, so momentum very much in the favor of Stockdale right now. They need to get in the end zone, tie this ball game up, and send this crowd into a bit of a third quarter tizzy.
They need to hurry up and get out, though. You don't want to take a delay of game or a timeout right now because you never know how important a timeout can be in the end of this game.
And the way you and I go, you just did it. You just did it, Brian. Well, you
I didn't do it. I mean, they did it. You know, they took a long time getting out of the huddle.
Actually, you did your job. You called exactly what was about to happen. We could feel the clock just ticking away in our mental clock, and sure enough, we talk about Mr. Momentum.
And those kind of things can stop you. You're rolling and something like that happens and just starts, get you on a bad streak the other way, but they have to settle down right now.
So now it's 1st and 12 instead of 1st and goal from the 5 or from the 7. Betty feeling pressure. He looks like he's got a wide open receiver. Will he get inside though? Garrett Anthony does.
Hey. Yeah, kick the. Yeah. They're gonna go for extra point. But I tell you, you talking about Betty making a difference? Betty is making a huge difference. I mean, that's all Sam Betty right there. Makes a guy miss. Finds an open receiver, tosses it in.
What I noticed about this play, and we'll see it after this point after, is that he didn't try to ram it and rifle that pass in there. He saw his man open, he lobbed it in there, albeit a little short because he knew, I've got a guy wide open. The last thing I want to do is try to rip his fingers off. Extra point, it's hit by Perez. We'll tie this ball game up. Very important. It's up and it's good. We're tied up. 14 all after another impressive, calm, cool, collected touchdown by Sam Betty. Touchdown pass.
And and that comes from when your coach breathes that kind of confidence, it goes to the players. And you got to give Coach Boyd and his staff some credit because they didn't panic. You never saw them get down. They're right back in the game. You see right here, he does a good job of eluding the defensive end there. Tosses the ball. That's a tough pass to make. Tossing over a lineman in your way. And Garrett does the rest with just a nice move and touchdown.
If you're a college scout tonight, you're here to see a lot of players, actually. You can probably pick about 10 guys out of here you're looking to see. Sam Betty has to be happy with his performance tonight, and we've got a lot of time left, 14 minutes left in this ball game. So,
if you're a college scout looking at Betty, you have Gary Anthony right there who's been very instrumental in this comeback to tie it up. But, if you're looking at Sam Betty, you got to like his height first, his strong arm. But if you haven't seen it, what has impressed you is his ability to be poised and calm under pressure and run the ball. I mean, he's done a great job of beating you with his arm and his legs tonight.
Brian, you and I both know that poise and cool collectiveness under pressure is not a stat in anybody's stat book, but it pays its dividends when you witness it firsthand, don't you?
Oh, yes, it does. I mean, and this is our second chance to see him do this, and it's just amazing to watch how he keeps his composure.
Well, Perez decides to kick it deep in the neighborhood of Chris Houston, but it is not Houston. We've got a penalty. No, he just stepped in the end zone. Thought we had a flag at first, but he basically just put his foot in the end zone, and it's touchback.
You know, another thing I like just now, I just saw all the players, once the ball's called in the touchback, they run all the way through the end zone. I like that. That's very good stuff. As a team, they do it, and just to show at the end of the game. But right now, their defense has to come up big again, because I believe you're going to see Houston. You see him coming right there, and he's in the end zone right there, and momentum took him in, so we're going to make it a touchback.
So Robin Johnson catches the ball on the -1 inch line.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
You want to change for the new one?
2 minutes left
That's okay.
in this third quarter. So Centennial all of a sudden sees itself tied up after they went into the locker room at halftime, up 14, and in this third quarter alone, Stockdale's back. Crosby, the quarterback for Centennial, having a great game himself. Hands the ball off to Houston. Stockdale holds him to 1 yard.
Well, now you're starting to get some confidence going on defense now, too. And, you know, that's how it kind of rolls. But, again, you know they're going to come with Houston to attack you. I think you got to just take your chances, play some 8- and 9-man fronts, and put the pressure on that offense to beat you in the air.
2nd and 10. Split wide right. Braden Bowles for Centennial. In motion comes Jason Caparati. Crosby's got Baker and Crosby in the backfield. Ball comes out to number 8, Caprioli. Caprioli gets about 5 yards. It'll be very close. Well, not really that close. Maybe about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down. Well executed on both sides of the ball.
Right here, going out to the flats. He comes in motion. Not much he's going to do. Good block by the receiver downfield just to hold him up. Give your other receiver a chance to get some yardage. And right there, nowhere to go. Good inside out pursuit. Push him out. 3rd and short. Big 3rd down coming up here. Big 3rd down.
Kern County, you're watching Time Warner's High School Football Game of the Week, the High School Football Game of the Week. We are the crew that's dedicated to showing you the game of the week in its entirety. 3rd and 2. We're tied up at 14. Big play for Centennial High School, especially momentum. Crosby drops back. Crosby's got tons of room. He gets a big block out in front. He cuts back and gets a first down and plenty more, but I thought he was going to keep going out to the left and just keep it going.
And that's a great call by Nixon right there. He gets him in a tough situation. And
Chad Holsey out there laying some blocks down for him.
Allows them to get a first down right here. They fake the dive to Baker. They come out, reverse it out.
And I thought Crosby had a ton of real estate.
Running. Yeah, but he still has to run by a couple people.
Chad Holsley's trying to lay a block out there.
But that's a good first down pickup, and that's what they needed. They needed something to break the momentum of the Stockdale Mustangs.
1st and 10. Houston. Hit hard. Wow.
Chris Houston brought down to number 71, Dwight Murray.
My spotter tells me it was Dwight Murray. He hit him so hard and got out of there. I didn't find it, but young Coop found him for me.
Yeah, but that's what that penetration does. When you stack it up like that, it's very hard to run. It's not as much running room as when you have 7 men in the box.
2nd and 10, Centennial on their own 43-yard line. This ball game's tied up 14-all. Looks like a barn burner in the making to me.
Crosby to pass.
Crosby throws across his body. Wow, one heck of a great throw, a great catch, great coverage, just a great play all the way around. Braden Bowles makes a big catch.
And I believe, I've watched Crosby for a couple of years now. I believe he throws better on the run. I think he can see, his height is a hard time seeing between the line. When he's on the roll, he throws some strikes. I mean, that's not, and he does that consistently.
Well, that's a great catch.
The end of the third quarter, the score remains Stockdale 14, Centennial 14.
That's the end of the fourth quarter, everybody. Back in a moment with your high school football game of the week. We're ready to roll in our last quarter coming up in just a moment. Our special sponsors will give you a break. Vance Palm, Brian Adams, back in a moment. We're tied at 14 up.
Some things can't be built in a day. Things like honesty, dedication, good hard work, and integrity. Since 1939, the law offices of Young Woolridge has had one of the strongest personal injury teams in the entire Central Valley. Today, that team is stronger than ever before. Through the years, our attorneys have won some of the highest dollar personal injury verdicts in Kern County. Put our experience to work for you. The law offices of Young Woolridge. Integrity you can trust.
KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader. The station you can trust first for breaking news and the most complete local coverage. We are KERN News Talk 1410, bringing you the pulse of the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make an appointment with KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader.
We're back, 1st and 10. Centennial hands the ball off to Chris Houston. This time he's met by 5 or 6 Stockdale players that slam him into this west side grass.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that, you see the defensive coach, they're pumped up. That's what they want. They want some penetration. That's the only way you can stop a running game, is you got to get penetration, because if they get going downhill, they're going to run 8-9-yard runs on you all night long, if not 10 and 15-yarders.
That brings up 2nd and 15. It's been a very, very good ball game from the beginning to right now, the beginning of the fourth quarter. There's a shot of Jeff Crosby, talented, strong-arm quarterback. He drops back. Crosby looking. He's got a wide open receiver. Wowee, another 15-yard pass.
Fumble.
It was Chris Houston, and Chris Houston fumbles the ball. Let's see what the call is. It should be, and it is Stockdale ball. The completed pass was out to Chris Houston. He took a hit. The ball slipped out of his hands, picked up by Stockdale, and just like that,
You know,
we're going the other way, Brian.
And you talk about momentum, but you got to feel so bad for Houston. I mean, he's always fighting for extra yards, and that time, give credit to the defenders. They knew he was fighting. They ripped it out, and they got the turnover. And Mr. Betty, do what you got to do now.
Sam Betty steps into the spotlight with 11 minutes left in the ball game. A very unfortunate turnover for Centennial, and an unexpected person dropping the ball was Chris Houston. Here comes Ojukwu up the middle, and that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Maybe picks up 1. Here's our replay.
Again, Crosby does a good job of rolling out. On the run, he's dangerous to his right. He throws a strike. What else is new? But right here, we're going to see Houston fighting, and then it's just ripped out and picked up.
They just shredded it out of him, got it outside, and next thing you know, it's Stockdale ball. Unbelievable. Mike Galindo picks up the fumble.
Yeah, and he stripped it. So, I mean, great play by Galindo.
2nd and 8. Garrett Anthony in motion. Sam Betty rolls right, has a Ojukwu blocking for him. Betty gets the pass outside. He'll be short of the first down.
He's short of the first down, but he got crucial yardage right there.
Brought down by Unfried and Salitz.
Right here into the flats. To Anthony right here. He does a good job of cutting up. I mean, I'm really liking how he's attacking the defenders right there in the Unfried, and he does a good job of getting it to 3rd and 2, because now there's a lot of plays you can run. As the Stockdale cheerleader Dan said, that's the way they like it here.
3rd and 1. They're really going to like it if they get this first down. 9:50 left in this ball game. Ojukwu. Wow. We got the word from up here on the booth with us, on the Sky booth, that Ojukwu is not injured. Someone from the Stockdale staff told us he is not injured. Then we therefore asked, why is he limping?
Yeah.
He said, well, he rolled his ankle 3 weeks ago. So you deduce from that what you will, Kern County. We're not looking at the same Ojukwu, Brian and I.
No, and I just don't see the explosion from him.
That brings up 4th and 1 on their own 48-yard line. This crowd is up. This crowd's fired up on both sides. Big play, Kern County. Betty draws them off sides, gets the flag.
They got him. Now I'm going to tell you, I said it earlier and again, when you got guys going off on the snap like that, trying to guess it, you just do it. You do it like that, and they got him. You give a hard count, give them a first down.
So Mr. Moe heading south against Centennial. Momentum a key.
Right here, you see
in
the
this
hard.
call.
You're gonna see a hard count right here.
Wow.
And there's Baker. Because he's going on that sound.
Baker the culprit again. Brian Adams pointing that out succinctly. 1st and 10 on Centennial's 47-yard line. Betty from the shotgun. Rifles one out across the middle. Hey, look at this, Kern County. It's caught by Matt Scott. Matt Scott's got about 15 more yards to get in. He does not.
Oh! You can't hit. Don't hit a guy behind you.
Let's find out if you are correct, Brian Adams. It looked from our eyes that Garen Anthony, at the last possible and unnecessary, I might add, second, clipped. Oh, goodness.
And that's too bad.
Well, the referee gave us a signal of holding.
You just don't peel back. You know, that's one of the things they teach you when you go on the next level is they don't want you peeling back to block somebody behind the runner. You go forward and find somebody.
So Matt Scott, hard-working Matt Scott, unfortunately gets called for a clipping at the very end of this play. I'm sorry, Matt Scott with a reception. I'm sorry.
Reception, great reception. Good job of running right here. He's going to make a couple of guys miss. Good block there.
Right at the very end of our play.
You'll see it on Nick Seeley's right here. You just don't peel off and go back. When you hit those numbers, they're going to call it every time, and you just can't peel back and hit a player like that.
Present situation, 1st and 10 for Stockdale. Betty rolls right. Has got a lot of time, but now he pulls himself out of the pocket. Now he's getting hunted down by some Centennial players. Gets out of bounds, and that's got to be a penalty flag. There's flags all over the place.
Composure, composure, composure. You know, everybody wants to win the game, and these players are from just being, very anxious to make a play on both players. These aren't dirty plays where guys are trying to hurt somebody. They're just really they're playing as hard as they can, and they're just losing a little composure, getting caught up in the moment, man.
Betty rolls right here. He sees that he might have a receiver open. He's in the pocket for 1 second. Next thing you know, he pulls himself out of the pocket. He's on the run, and the Golden Hawks in good pursuit, in good angle, Brian. And the very last second, after he goes out of bounds, this momentum just catches up with Mitch Horak.
Yeah, and that's too bad because both these players that just have the penalties for both teams. They're not coming from players trying to hurt somebody or do a cheap play, Vance. They're just playing really hard ball, and they're just not letting up and just being a little overzealous.
So an obvious call. Looked like our cameramen are about ready to throw a flag. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. And now we have a reference to the clock by the referee. They wanted to clear things up. 8:29 left in this very tense ball game. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Ojukwu in the backfield alone with quarterback Sam Betty. Straight back, Betty in trouble. Is he tall enough? Is his arm strong enough?
Good play.
Doesn't matter. Throws it out of bounds.
And that's a great play by Betty right there. He doesn't take the sack. He gets rid of the ball, keeps his field position, and gives his team another chance to score.
Tyler Martin's with the pressure on Betty, and they can't stop. They've got to keep the pressure coming. They can't back up.
Yeah, and and I think Vance, he was looking to flip a shovel pass to Ojukwu, and it was just blocked up. See, he wanted to flip a shovel pass, and it wasn't there. And then right now he does a good job of keeping himself alive, and that's what I like best. Get rid of the ball, don't take a sack.
That brings up 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Betty drops back again, looks left. Throws in the end zone. Oh, a fantastic fantastic play by Mitch Horak. So Mitch Horak has the late hit called on him, and now he comes up with a touchdown-saving play.
You'll see Horak right here. He just goes up for a rebound right here and tries to snatch it out of the air.
Coming into your living room.
As you see Nichols coming across.
Ooh.
Well, I think Horak took interception away from Felix here.
You never know. Bottom line is his instinct said get up and bat that ball down.
Great job.
3rd and goal, 8-yard line. Stockdale, will they be denied again? A 3rd time trying to get in this end zone from such a short distance. Betty's got receivers split wide right and left. Ojukwu behind him. Betty drops back. Centennial looking for pass. Pressure all over him. Betty being backed up to the 25-yard line. Throws one out, way out of bounds, not even close. Stockdale wants intentional grounding.
Good play again by Betty. I mean, you know, the fans at home,
Sorry, Centennial crowd. Centennial wants.
You might be sitting there thinking, you know, that's a horrible play by Betty, but no, those are 2 great plays he did. Because what he did is he kept you in field goal range for a chip shot field goal, and that's you can't speak of how important that was.
Offensive coordinator Brad Shower, assistant coach, conferring with his young quarterback. So that brings us up to Mark Perez kicking about a 19-yard field goal, 18-yarder. Look at this, Kern County. A mad rush in there by number 5, Justin Crane. He blocks it in its infancy, and that brings up 1st and 10, Golden Hawks ball.
And
that's a big-time play.
And Crane's been close on both extra points.
Lightning speed.
Again, he just didn't block him. Nobody blocked him. He came unblocked, lays out, sacrifices. Huge play.
And this crowd from Centennial is still going crazy. They're still up saying, way to go, fellas. Love it. Unfortunately, we have a player down on the field. I cannot see his number. My spotter's going to try to get his number.
There's Crane right there who just blocked kicking. I mean, he's an exciting player. Always plays a lot of motion.
Kern County, we've got a stoppage of play. We've got a player down for Stockdale. I'll get that number in just a moment from my spotter, Cooper Dameron. It's 14 up, just under 8 minutes left. Next week, we finally get a chance to see this squad from Liberty, and they're going to be at your old stomping grounds, Bakerfield High School, BHS. Starting to get back into that old winning form. Liberty, a powerhouse, ranked number 3 in Kevin Eubank's poll. And hey, TimeWarnerBakersfield.com. If you want to see a clip from tonight's player of the game and read my recap, highly recommend checking out TimeWarnerBakersfield.com. It's a great website. There's more to see than just our player of the game. But once again, TimeWarnerBakersfield.com. Of course, put the 3 W's in front. He's up. My spotter, Cooper, gives me number 61, Ryan Hernandez. He's up and running. Thanks, Cooper.
And hopefully it's just cramps and he'll be back to play.
Looked like it might be cramps. Hey, Centennial's so fired up, it's got their cheer guys out there. I don't know what you really truly call that, but 7:58 left in this ball game. We're tied at 14-14. Centennial on their own 10-yard line after a big-time field goal blocked by Crane. Jeff Crosby running this offense, hands the ball off to Chris Houston. Chris Houston working for something, as always, gets about 8 yards, 8 tough yards. He's back up on his feet before the defenders, and another defender down for Stockdale. He's crawling up slowly, and that's Josh Skurlock. You know, one of these things about Houston, these defenders that lay the hits on him sometimes get up a little slower than he does.
Oh yeah, he throws some plastic out around there too. But, you know, this is what Centennial has a chance to do. We saw him do it last time, go 98 yards. Now they're trying to go 90 yards, and with the way they run the ball and control the clock, I mean, it could be a minute left if they score.
Could be, Brian. I guessed overtime with some of my buddies this week. You never know.
Let's go, Dave!
2nd and 1. Crosby drops back on what would be a pursued running play. Crosby brings it back to throw, and that gives his line an opportunity.
Intentional grounding and intentional grounding. So you're going to probably take the intentional on that.
So Crosby in trouble here on second down, and what I thought would be a naturally assumed running down on 2nd and 1.
We'll see a holding come out right in the corner right there. That's the holding, and then you'll see we might see the flag, and then the grounding right there to avoid the sack.
So not the best sequence here for the Golden Hawks on a very important drive late in this ball game. So players from the Mustang side trying to find out what's going on. We get the call.
Against Centennial.
Grounding.
Intentional grounding to call
And a loss of
against
down.
Centennial.
So we'll lose a loss of down here if you're cheering for the Centennial squad, and Stockdale's got to be real happy with this.
So they should decline the holding.
The holding penalty has been declined.
My partner Brian Adams calls it correctly.
Grounding
With the loss of down.
is accepted with a loss of down.
That's a huge play.
Nervous fans looking on. They've got cause to be.
The ball's on about the 4-yard line.
And, you know, they're not used to being like this in this game.
That brings us to 3rd and 18, Kern County. Golden Hawks deep in their own territory on their own 4-yard line. Crosby's got guys split left and right all over the place. He's got Baker in the backfield with him. What's going to happen? What could this play be? Crosby dropping back, throwing across the middle. He finds his man out there, Nick Saliz, just like that, has a first down.
Yeah, and right there, you know, if you ever need your defense to step up, they had to step up then, and Crosby threw a strike.
There, what a nice play, and Selic comes down with it. Another nice catch. Thanks, Time Warner crew, reminding me in my right ear, it's Selic. Thanks.
That's a huge play by the Golden Hawks.
I need the help. Well, and you had mentioned, and we'll get to this in just a moment. I want to talk about that play that just happened in just a second. Right now it's 1st and 10. Golden Hawks out of trouble, and now Houston's got the ball at the middle. Here comes Chris, and another casual 17-yarder for Houston. And I say casual because he makes it look that way. You mentioned something at halftime, Brian Adams, and you thought that the Stockdale cornerbacks were maybe giving just too much respect to those receivers, and what does that do for your defense?
Well, right here, we're going to see this run right here. Good spin in the hole, and he's, like you said, he's always running forward and physical, and picks up a big chunk of yards right there. But what happens is when you play that soft, you give the receivers a lot of room to get open. And when a quarterback's on like Crosby is tonight, that's just too much area.
1st and 10 again for Centennial. The ball goes up the middle to Chris Houston. 3 yards on the play. Houston, another workman-like game. He just continues to compile yards. He continues to have big plays at the right time. He did have a fumble last quarter, but didn't come back to haunt them. So another great game for Chris Houston, and we still have just under 6 minutes left. So somebody's got to make a big play to win this ball game.
Well, I think Crosby made some huge plays tonight, and this is by far the best game I've seen him play in about 5 games that I've watched him.
2nd and 8. Crosby drops back. Quick rifle out on the wing to Braden Bowles. Braden Bowles again gets a first down. So in about 6 or 7 plays, they get 4 first downs. Golden Hawks know how to move the ball.
Yeah, and that's an example I'm talking about. Bowles is not going to run by you and streak by you. You don't want to play that far off. See how far off the defender is? That's an easy 5-yard pickup. First down, even come up making a tackle. Good tackle by Caraway, but he's so far off the ball that in a tight game like this, he's giving way too much room to the Centennial Golden Hawk receivers.
You brought this up to me at halftime. I wondered if it would be a factor, and it looks like it may be becoming one now. Caprioli in motion for the Golden Hawks. Crosby drops back. Pass either deflected or slipped out of his hands. Chris Houston looking at the referee like, hey, this guy's popping my quarterback 2 seconds after he let go of it.
You know, and this one, you have a good running game. You can take a chance on first down right here, throw out in the flats, and we'll see right there. Couldn't see the hit.
Just slipped out of his hands.
Just came out of his hands, slipped out of his hands, and that's probably the only bad throw we've seen him throw. So.
Well, we only allow him one each, right?
That's it, one each.
Time Warner standards. You're listening to Vance Palm. My partner Brian Adams and I thoroughly stoked to be covering this game. 2nd and 10. 5 minutes and 1 second left in this ball game. Who's going to win it? It's 14-all right now. Crosby fakes the handoff to Houston. Crosby drops back. Rifles one across the middle. He's got his man, Nick Silic. Silic comes up with another first down.
Yeah. You know, and this is a situation right here. They're just wearing him out on this play right here. He just comes off his tight end spot and drags across the field in front of the safety, and he's throwing strikes to him. You know, and that's the same play that earlier it was a turnover. Now it's a first down. So, and again, Vance, that clock is ticking, 4 minutes. And this is how Centennial does you. They just kind of drive and eat up clock, and they don't give you a lot of time to come back.
1st and 10. Crosby drops back, throws it outside on the left side. Jason Caprioli brings it down again. Team offense for Stockdale, they're number 3 in the county. Team offense for Centennial, they're number 9 in the county. Both showing their goods tonight. Both quarterbacks playing very well. All of our storylines staying completely intact. Crosby, Betty, Chris Houston. We've really yet to see Ojukwu do much. Kevin Porter out of the ball game early with an injury. Key players in key roles. The pitch goes out to Houston. Houston cuts up. Houston gets outside. Houston gets another first down, and he plows ahead to the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
Just when they think they've got him in their grasp.
You know,
he does it again.
And I don't know the defensive scheme that they use to stop that option play. But right here, it's just an option play. Fake the die to Baker, pitching to Houston. When I played, Coach Preston, he had us, and Coach Harnett was our defensive coordinator. The backer had the outside backer, the defensive end had the quarterback, and then the corner had to recognize and get the running back or the safety. But somehow they got to figure out stop that play.
Houston. Ball goes up the middle of Chris Houston. He tumbles up another 4 or 5 yards. Here comes Centennial.
Chris Houston brought down by number 24, Mike Garrow.
Brian, if you're head coach Dave Boyd for Stockdale, you're looking at the clock run down. It continues to run down. Some strategy has to come into play here soon.
Well, I'll tell you what strategy doesn't come into play. Let them score.
Well, of course.
But, you know, this is what Centennial does. I mean, they have the ability to control the ball with short passes and their running game to eat clock up.
David Payne for Centennial split so far left we can barely see him. In motion, Caprioli. The ball goes to Chris Houston. Chris Houston stays on his feet, picks up what we think is a first down, if not very close to it.
Now, man, if they score, there will not be much time on this clock. I can guarantee you that.
And for Stockdale High, who has valiantly come back in the third quarter, and now here very late in the fourth quarter, perhaps could have but one chance left.
And they might get to the point where they start using timeouts if they get a couple stops.
And that's basically what I was hinting towards as far as strategy as this clock continues to tick down low. We're tied at 14 all, 2 minutes, 27 seconds left in this killer ball game between these two Southwestern Yosemite League powerhouse teams. Here it is. First and goal from the 6-yard line. Chris Houston powers his way up and in. A big touchdown, and that puts Centennial up by at least 6. And this crowd from Centennial extremely appreciative of what these Golden Hawks have done on the road tonight, albeit 6 miles down the road, but still on the road.
But you know what was more impressive about this drive than the 98-yard drive is they were rolling, had a loss of down, 3rd and 18. They were on the 4-yard line. They get a big strike for an 18-yard gain, and then they drive down and eat up 5 minutes of the clock and put some points on the board.
Brian, the only penalty they had is the one that put him back in the 4-yard line, and then they drive 96 yards for a very impressive touchdown. Hey, look at this. The extra point also good by Tyler Townsend. So if you can hear the public address speaker right up by our stands, he says it best. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left. What a ball game. 21-14. The Golden Hawks lead by 7, and we're in for 2 minutes and 14 seconds left of excitement.
And we talk about players of the game. I mean, we might have to put Crane in there because that block kick turned the whole tide. As you see right here, again, when they're blocking good, he's running down the field 5 yards for a guy. He wanted to tackle him. He runs over the man, scores. I mean, Crane doesn't block that kick. Who knows what momentum does? That was a huge play by Crane.
Extremely perceptive, Brian. You're throwing a wrench into the decisive process of what we call the Young Woolridge player of the game. Let's wait 2 minutes and 14 seconds if we need to find out who will that be. We've got a lot of candidates tonight. And you never know. If one of these cats from Stockdale runs one all the way back.
Well, I was going to say, Anthony Garrett and Hanson, they both have the ability to make a play like that. So we'll see what happens.
Kern County, if you tuned in with us all night, you certainly got your time's worth. The visitor Golden Hawks of Centennial, 3 impressive touchdowns. They lead by 7. This place is packed. Everybody loves it. This is high school football at its best. It's Time Warner's High School Football of the Week, Game 6. Wow. Here comes the kick. Who's going to get it? It's a low burner, and it will be handled by Shelton. Shelton hands the ball out to Garrett Anthony on a reverse. Garrett Anthony gets tripped up at the 25-yard line. I'm not certain that he would have broken it completely, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, they would be glad they tripped him up.
Brought down by number 6, Coleman Sellers.
Tough kick to handle.
Yeah.
Gets a big high bounce, though.
Good job of Shelton, who's a baseball player, just feels it like he's playing baseball. But the reason why this play is going to work for you is because you got a player in Shelton who's aggressive and people have to respect. And right here, Anthony's a good job of cutting up the field and is just barely tripped up.
Wow. 1st and 10, 2 minutes, 6 seconds left. Hey, Time Warner, you do rock. Back to the field. Betty in the shotgun. Had a great game tonight. He's under pressure. Look out. If he goes down, it's going to be trouble. He lofts one up and out. And wow. Saves his heels, saves his team from a big loss, and makes another pretty cool-headed play.
Well, right now the line has to settle down and give him some time. You got 1 minute and 57 seconds, 2 timeouts. You can run everybody off deep and run one guy out and let him catch the ball, run out of bounds. All because Centennial's going to let you do it for quite a ways down the field. If they're trying to play that tight and not even let you run it out, then somebody's going to be open way downfield, which I doubt will happen.
That's the voice of Brian Adams. He's been in these situations a ton of times. And that's why I'm glad he's by my side. 21-14 is the score. Stockdale has the ball. They're down with less than 2 minutes to go. Betty drops back. Betty launches one up. He overthrows both receivers, and that brings up a big, big 3rd down.
And you can see he has a very, very strong arm. And again, you know, when you got a 2-minute drill, I like to see the ball thrown out of bounds and take what the defense gives you.
There's the coaching staff, Stockdale, Brian. You know, they're going over every option. Here comes Nichols.
In 1 minute 54, you need a 1st down, so you don't have to go get 50 yards. You can get in chunks. You got 2 timeouts. I mean, you can throw the ball down a 20-yard chunk in the middle of the field.
And they're running close on time right now. They better get this play off. It's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15 will not help them. Betty from the shotgun has 3 receivers, split ride. He just gets it off. Betty keeps it himself. He needs 10 yards. Will he get it? Here comes Centennial. They don't, and his legs get tangled up. I hope he's not hurt.
I hope not either.
Very awkward position. His legs were tangled up, and he took a hit.
He's a tough kid. He's getting up.
Well, as you can see, Brian, he's scrambling out of trouble.
Yeah, right here, you know, it just breaks down. You had a blitz off the other edge. You see his leg roll up, but he holds it up, and he gets up, and he's in the huddle.
Some pensive thoughts over there on the sidelines for Stockdale. It's 4th and 10, 1 minute 42 seconds left. 3 plays called, no yardage. That means they've got to go the full 10 yards just to pick up a 1st down. If they do not, this game is considerably over.
And they burn a timeout.
Yikes.
So they only have 1 timeout left now.
Well, the cheerleaders are staying positive. The crowd's staying positive. Everyone's staying up. They're trying to make sure that they let their Mustangs know, listen, the game's not over. We're not dead. Stranger, crazier things have happened on a 4th and a lot longer. But this Centennial defense only had 2 touchdowns scored on them tonight. They've pretty much held their own. The heart and soul of their defense. Kevin Porter's been out since early in the 1st quarter. They've rallied around him. Baker, Salich.
And Stockdale's had the opportunity, the field goal block and a fumble on the 1 yard line. So, I mean, they've had a chance to be up.
Well, here's their last chance, Brian. 4th and 10, Betty in the shotgun. What a great game. It'll be a shame if they don't pick up this 1st down. Betty, tons of time. He launches one up. It's deep. He's got a man open. Oh, they throw the flag. This could be the biggest call of the game. Kern County.
I will tell you.
That's Mark Perez.
Mark Perez gets PI'd, but it's much better to pass interference than let him catch the ball and score a touchdown. It gives him a first down, but you don't give him a touchdown.
Brian Adams, you bring up a very important point. However, I see the ball continuing to come back this way. What's happening?
They're going to walk 15 yards and give him a first down.
Very good. Thanks for explaining. I thought there was double laundry and it was all done.
No. I tell you.
Well, there it was, and it wasn't obvious. But you're right. Why give up?
It's a good pass interference call because if he catches the ball and doesn't score, they only have 27 yards to go into the end zone, 25. And that's a good PI right there.
If there ever was one, that was it. There's new life in this Stockdale crowd and this Stockdale team. Matt Scott in motion. Betty snags a high snap. He can do that. He launches another one off. He's got Garrett Anthony open. Oh, this time it appeared to be that it could have dropped in his hands, but made an interesting turn at the end of his route there. So they decide to go long again, Brian, on 1st and 10.
And they got a minute 27. They have plenty enough time to just get the ball, move the ball down and out. You can run a 10-yard out, break it out, go out of bounds. Clock stops, you got a first down.
Betty hasn't launched that many passes long tonight throughout the course of this game. He's launched 2 long ones back-to-back with less than a minute and a half in this ball game. These fans are really concerned about their Stockdale Mustangs. It's 2nd and 10. What a game, what a crowd on the Stockdale home side. Betty in the shotgun. Ojukwu back to block for him. Betty drops back, rifles one across the middle. Dangerous pass, he throws it behind Mark Perez, and that brings up a big 3rd down play, and that was almost picked off, Brian.
Yeah, it is. It was almost reception, too, but it was almost picked off. The only chance Perez has really on this ball is a little bit behind him, is just to stop and try to just catch it. You see it's a little bit behind him, to try to keep running is a tough catch.
3rd and 10, Kern County. They don't get any bigger than this one. Minute 22 left in the ball game. Stockdale on their own 38-yard line. Big gain. The ball goes in a double reverse. Uh-oh, look out. Garrett Anthony throws off to the side, and it's...
Yeah, that's a little...
Goodness.
Yeah, you can't throw it to the lineman. He's ineligible.
Goodness. Well, a big trick play called. Double reverse pass with Garrett Anthony throwing out to what he hoped would be a receiver, but it was one of his linemen.
Receiver.
Well, penalty flag, holding on the call is the call.
Right here, they try a double reverse pass, and the receiver come out in the corner. And right there is just to the lineman, and he can't catch the ball. He's not eligible, but he was trying to throw to a corner route. Richard
Gianelli was the intended lineman, if you will. And pretty gutsy call, 3rd and 10, minute 27. We have laundry on the field. Stockdale wants to get this play off. Shouldn't this play be declined?
Yeah, they're going to decline it, yeah. You don't want to give Betty 2 chances to get a first down.
There you go. That's where I was confused. I was kind of speechless for a moment because I thought they should decline it. And they did. That brings us up to, again, another crucial 4th down. Could be the final play for Stockdale if they don't capitalize again. Sam Betty in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's got big pressure. He throws the ball out to Ojukwu. Ojukwu's got to come up with the move of his life. He doesn't. He gets hammered by Daniel Bull at the line of scrimmage. This Centennial crowd is ecstatic.
Well, the streak.
Brian, you can see this crowd. Go ahead.
Well, the streak continues right here. And, good job of putting pressure, trying to throw a screen pass and catch him blitzing it. And right now, you got defensive linemen downfield, so obviously they backed off, so they weren't going for it. And, unfortunately for the Stockdale Mustangs, the streak continues. And fortunately, if you're a Golden Hawk, you keep it going.
Who will be our young Woolridge player of the game? We will let you know in just a moment. The score is Centennial 21, Stockdale 14. This crowd is getting very, very quiet now, and they're basically moving out. The streak continues for the Golden Hawks, barring some incredible catastrophe on the Centennial side. Everybody's taking off. they've seen enough. Brian, be audible on your thoughts for young Woolridge, player of the game, as we watch the Golden Hawks go it down on a knee again.
Well, I have to go with Jeff Crosby. You know, he was put in a position where his arm had to win the game, and I think he won the game from his ability to run the ball, and the throws he made in the crunch was just outstanding.
Well, Stockdale trying to call a timeout, and they do get the clock stopped with 8 seconds left to go. I guess Coach Boyd just basically wanted to go out and talk to his players before the game's over and give them some positive words and let them know, hey, you fought hard, but now.
Oh, I didn't know he was all the way up there.
We have a shot of Ojukwu limping badly on the left sidelines, and we were told up here on the booth that he was not injured. Well, he's limping quite heavily, and there he is. We got a nice shot of Ojukwu limping. For a guy that's not hurt, we certainly hope he's feeling better, and didn't see much of him tonight. As it stands, Kern County, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. Centennial on the road pulls out a very impressive 21-14 victory. Our young Woolridge, player of the game, is that young man that's about to snap the ball get the ball from the center. Jeff Crosby, the quarterback from Centennial High School, poised, completely under control, talented, strong arm, great running. Jeff Crosby, the young Woolridge player of the game, as the Golden Hawks of Centennial High go to 1-0 in league, 5-1 for the season. They keep their win streak alive, 7-0 versus Stockdale in Southwest Yosemite League play. What a victory. Back in a moment with our young Woolridge player of the game, Jeff Crosby. Centennial wins on the road, 21-14. Week 6, game 6 is a wrap. Back in a moment with Brian Adams and myself with the young Woolridge player of the game on Time Warner's High School Football Game of the Week.
700 laps of action squeezed into 2 days. It's the biggest event of the year at Mesa Marin Raceway, the 25th Anniversary October Classic, October 19th and 20th. The 2-day $90,000 event will feature the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series, NASCAR Super Late Model, Ultra Wheel Super Trucks, Late Models, the Pro 4 Challenge, and the Cal Spa Super TT motorcycle. Over 200 drivers from around the nation, including NASCAR star Ron Hornaday Jr. Order your tickets now for the 25th Anniversary October Classic at Mesa Marin Raceway, the World Series of short track racing.
KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader. The station you can trust first for breaking news and the most complete local coverage. We are KERN News Talk 1410, bringing you the pulse of the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make an appointment with KERN News Talk 1410, Bakersfield's hometown news and talk leader.
The media has become a staple in our everyday lives, whether it's a song, an advertisement, or even a news story.
Everywhere you turn, there's a message in one form or another.
Do you realize how much media your child is exposed to every day?
And everything your child sees and witnesses affects them.
It's time to take action and become involved in what messages your child comes in contact with.
Filter out the negativity and let these messages be positive.
It's up to us to shape their future. Let it be a happy one.
Some things can't be built in a day. Things like honesty, dedication, good hard work, and integrity. Since 1939, the law offices of Young Woolridge has had one of the strongest personal injury teams in the entire Central Valley. Today, that team is stronger than ever before. Through the years, our attorneys have won some of the highest dollar personal injury verdicts in Kern County. Put our experience to work for you. The law offices of Young Woolridge. Integrity you can trust.
Well, it was a great game as advertised. Went down to the last series, 21-14. Centennial victorious over Stockdale. And right now I'm going to kick it down to Vance with our player of the game, Jeff Crosby. Down to you, Vance.
Kern County, this is Vance Palm down on the field, my favorite part of the evening because that's where we have the Young Woolridge player of the game. Young Woolridge, the oldest law firm in town, responsible for presenting this award. And as always, Kevin Burton, Director of Public Relations for Young Woolridge. We have with us Jeff Crosby, the player of the game for Young Woolridge. Kevin?
Hey, thank you, Vance. It's always a pleasure to be here on a game, especially on a suspense game like Centennial and Stockdale. I want to congratulate you on behalf of the firm, and you just did a fabulous job, and job well done. I want to present you with a shirt, And Greg Muir, one of our attorneys at the firm, would like to present you with something else.
Greg Muir.
Jeff, I'd like to congratulate you. You made all the big plays when you need to today, and you came through for your team. And it's my honor to present you this award for the High School Football Player of the Week. Congratulations.
Hey, Kern County, the only way you can have one of these T-shirts is to be named the Young Woolridge Player of the Game. The only way you get one of these nice plaques is to be named the Young Woolridge Player of the Game. And kudos to this fine attorney for coming out here to present this to a Centennial player when your son played for the Stockdale team.
Even more than the plaque, but I have to give credit. He played a heck of a game.
And with that segue, let's go to Jeff Crosby. Jeff, what a great game. You know, the pregame, we had Kevin Eubanks on from the Bakersfield, California, and my partner, Brian Adams. We brought out a ton of key players that could have been a factor in this game, which means to me that you really do stand out as one of our top athletes of this season, because there were so many picks tonight. You were our choice, and we chose you because of your poise, of course, your strong arm, your running ability. Give us your insight and your feelings about tonight's game.
This was a great game. Stockdale came out ready to play. They jumped up in the second half, came back 14-14. We put a big drive together, came back and made it 21-14 right there.
At the beginning of the game, Stockdale gets the ball. Unfortunately, on fourth down, they lose it. Here comes you on the first play from scrimmage. Tell us what you're thinking.
We just came out 5 wide. We thought we'd surprise them. We're known as a running team. We're known to power it. We thought we'd come out 5 wide, and corner just came right in, set up perfectly.
Well, you threw a great pass, and you had all of us fooled at the very beginning. I said, what's this? They've got no running backs. What could this be? First play from scrimmage, and as we see, a beautiful touchdown strike. I think we have another play of you, and that's the big play at the end of the first half. You guys ran it down perfectly, executed your time management perfectly, got it down to the 1 yard line, 4th and 1. Your second touchdown, you muscled it in yourself.
The line did a great job. They had a strong push up front. I just saw the hole over the center, and I dove right in.
Nip halftime right in the bud with 14-0 lead. Hey, Jeff, you've got a great squad this year. One of your teammates, Chris Houston, was our player of the week in Game 4. You've got big Matt Reese on the line. You've got Kevin Porter, linebacker. You've got some great athletes. How do you guys feel going into Week 7 in up 1-0 in the league?
We have a great team, and I think we're really pulling together right now, and I think we're going to come out strong for the rest of the league.
Well, on behalf of Time Warner and Young Woolridge, congratulations. Your player of the game, Jeff Crosby, talented quarterback. Good luck to you in the future. Hey, Kern County, thanks for tuning in with us. Don't forget, next week, Week 7, the powerful, talented Liberty takes on Bakersfield High School at Griffith Field. We'll see you there. On behalf of everyone for Time Warner Cable, my spotter up in the booth with me, Cooper Dameron, my partner, Brian Adams, and Young Woolridge. Thank you. From Jeff Crosby and I, good night, Kern County. See you next week.